Okay, I wanted to share some tips and pointers and things that I've learned working with this unit. For starters, I still got my 5-pound dumbbell weight in the bottom there to keep it in place from the wind. Although it's not too windy today here, it's really gorgeous outside today. I tried putting a couple items on top of that to cook, and it just doesn't work. Now maybe I spray painted it, with some non-toxic black paint or something, so it'll get some better solar heat. It might work better, but I found that putting items on top of the weight and cooking them does not work. It just doesn't. It doesn't get hot enough. I've actually had items cook on the top, not cook on the bottom at the same time. So don't put anything, if you try this dumbbell idea that I have here, and you don't even have to, you could put a rock or a black rock or anything in there. That's basically just to keep it from blowing around in the wind. And like I said, there ain't much wind up here today anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. So I'd mention it. If you have anything like this going on, don't try cooking anything on top of it. Cook on top of the black pan that they provided for you, the dish pan there. I've got omelets in there this morning, and I got my tea inside of a sports bottle. I got a black sports bottle, flat black, and the reason I've done that is because I'm happy to use the teapot that I have in the other video. Works great. I do continue to use it for this. But if I have other items on there, it's easier if it doesn't take up space horizontally. If it's takes up space vertically, things fit better in there. And I've discovered that black cookware is essential for this kind of cooking. Now that sounds like a no-brainer, but I've just I've played around with this. I tried making like sausage quiche cups in a silicone muffin pan. It was actually gray, it wasn't quite black, and the surface of the eggs didn't cook. The eggs just wouldn't cook really well in there, and the quiche cups wouldn't cook well. The surface of them was a lighter color. They reflected heat away, and that's when I discovered that black cookware, obviously black cookware is going to work better for solar cooking. That's a no-brainer, but I didn't realize just how important it is. I'm going to go so far as to say it's essential. You really have to have black cookware if you're going to do solar cooking. You have to. I mean, it's just not going to work well with anything else. I'm sure there's some exceptions, but as a rule, general rule, black cookware is absolutely essential, and you want to have it covered, because that brings me to my second problem. If the surface of the food that's inside of your pots is a lighter color, it won't absorb the sun's heat. So you want to have a black lid on there to absorb the sun's heat. And also, if the food that you're cooking in there has any moisture in there, it steams up the window, and then the sunlight can't get through. So you really have to have good black cookware with covers on it. I can't overemphasize that. It's pretty early in the morning, and it's pushing 200 degrees right now, so this will be done in a while, and I'm going to go downstairs and show the other part of the project. Okay, I'm downstairs. I was just up there, and I got my Sunjuicer, down here. And the reason I got this down here is because there's less wind. And the wind blows this thing around quite a bit. If this thing has a downside, it's wind can push it around a lot because it's so lightweight, but it's easy to work around the wind. But anyway, these are the stuffings that are going to go into my omelet. Let's take a look at them here. Yeah, steaming hot. So those look great. I got some spinach in there, some turkey sausage, some mushrooms, some sun-dried tomatoes. I love sun-dried tomatoes. Let's give this a stir. Oh, it smells awesome. Those tomatoes smell fantastic, and I got them cooking in a little bit of coconut oil. I'm going to leave them on there just for a few minutes longer. Ouch, it is hot. The lid is hot. And I will be back when I put the stuffings into the omelet. Okay, I'm going to open this up, take the cookware out, put the fillings in the omelets, try to fold them over, and I'll be back in a second. I have to set the camera down for this part. Okay, they cooked beautifully. I added the fillings and I folded it over. I'm going to put it back in the oven for a few minutes with the cover on upside down. So that way the handle will push it down for a moment and cook it for a little bit longer and help it hold that position. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other one, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I got the omelets back in, folded over with the fillings inside, the lids turned upside down so that the tops of the handles will push down onto the omelets and help them retain that folded shape. Some of the stuffings will fall out, that's fine. I'm not that anal about this. And I wanted to point out something cool that I found here the other day at a Axeman Surplus on University Avenue in St. Paul. I found these cool oven gloves for $5. They've been really helpful. So something you want to keep your eyes open for. They're nice to have. And I'll be back when I have the omelets on the plate and I'm ready to eat. Alright, I brought everything into the kitchen and I'm going to put the omelets onto a plate and eat them. But I need to set the camera down for a moment to do that. I need both hands, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm pouring the tea. The omelets are on the plate. I didn't spill one speck of the stuffings. They came out beautifully. I lifted them out with a spatula. They should be steaming, most likely. And there it is. I suppose it took about an hour. I'm going to enjoy.